Hello, everybody, and welcome to Iridian Gallery's Artist Talk. We're calling it the Queen's Interview. We're discussing today the new exhibition at the Iridian Gallery featuring the work of Megan Marlatt. It's called Wysteria Ivy. And it's a show about her relationship with her friend Wysteria Ivy, fabulous drag queen from Orange, Virginia, where Megan's studio is located. And we have with us today Michael A. Pierce, who is a gallery committee member and the curator of the exhibition. Say hi, Michael.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
We also have Megan Marlatt as the artist du jour, who I just spoke of. Say hi, Megan.
Hello, everyone.
And then the fabulous and lovely and gorgeous and perfect and stunning Wysteria Ivy.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. And my name is Grace Wetpants, and I'm your hostess. In my day job, I also help run the Iridian Gallery, and I have been volunteering with the organization at Diversity Richmond since 2015. The mission of the Iridian Gallery at Diversity Richmond is to foster lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus artists and their community by exhibiting their art, as well as work that relates to their experiences. The Iridian Gallery seeks to position the gallery and its exhibitions as a vital constituent of the greater Richmond's vibrant arts culture. With that, generally we tend to exhibit work by queer artists, but this is a very special circumstance that we discovered the work of Megan Marlatt, who is a brilliant painter, and she is an ally. She is a straight woman who just loves the gays and loves Wysteria Ivy, this really great relationship that she has with her drag queen friend, who functions as her muse and kind of has inspired a large body of the work here in our exhibition. The work is on view until February 19th. The Iridian Gallery is open. I think now we're closed on Monday. So we're open Tuesday through Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's basically whenever the hours of Diversity Richmond are open, then you can come see the show. We're located at 1407 Sherwood Avenue in, what is the name of the neighborhood? Do we know what the name of the neighborhood is? I don't know. It's the industrial neighborhood by 95 and the Diamond in Richmond. It's fabulous. Come see us. I think that's it. I think that's good. Did I introduce us well? I will probably then get us started by kicking off to Michael A. Pierce, our curator of the exhibition, and he has some really great thought-provoking questions for our guests, and we're going to learn more about the exhibition and more about their relationship and more about art and life, and it's going to be lovely. So I'll kick it off to you, Michael.
Thank you, Grace. About 3 years ago, I was visiting with Megan in her studio, and on the easel was this painting she was working on of Wysteria Ivy. And I was entranced by it. I grew up in Culpeper, which is like 20 minutes from Orange. I suggested to her that we talk about getting her a show at Iridian to show this great work. And so that's kind of the seed that was planted that brought the show our way. And so my questions are really simple to get us started, and we'll take it from there. And they are, I want, Megan, for you to think about and talk about who you are, what you believe. What does any of that have to do with the art you make?
So your questions are very, very interesting, and they're big. They're big questions. They're really big questions. who am I? Well, I'm straight. I'm a woman. I'm an older woman, my birthday's in a couple of days. I'm going to be 65. I'm just looking forward to the senior discounts. I'm really looking forward to those. So at any rate, but really I'm just a person, just like everyone else, just trying to get through this world. And I guess that's what I believe. I believe in a force that connects us all, regardless of whether we are male, female. Go ahead and write in all the binaries and all the unbinaries. We're all people trying to get through this world, try to figure it out. And I love that part about us. I think that it's been a really couple of tumultuous years that we've experienced as a humanity. I'm sad because I think one of the gifts, if there was a gift for the pandemic to give us, was an opportunity for all of us to understand how we're more similar than we are separate, that we all are victims to this disease, because we're all animals, we're all spiritual beings walking around in an animal. And so that's kind of what I believe. Though I have to say, belief is an interesting word because it changes as you choose. And each time life gives you an opportunity to choose something else, you have to go back and refer to that belief. So, every morning I wake up with my husband. I married him more than 25 years ago. That doesn't mean I made that decision then. It means that every morning I wake up and I choose to be married to him. So the beliefs that you have to carry you every day into those decisions, I think. So I digress. So I'm getting off on a tangent, but I think my work with Wysteria Ivy has a lot to do with not how we're different, but how we're similar. And her, as a 65-year-old woman, I've kind of given up my Venus. I've kind of let her go to bring in more of my kind of crone, haggy, other stuff, and I think that's what I love about Wysteria, is that she embraces this Venus, this Aphrodite part of all women or all people. Actually, I don't think women have a monopoly on it by any means.
Okay.
So,
Well, let's see who I am when I don't look like this, which is rare because I wake up in the morning and I just magically look like this. No, but all joking aside, when I don't look like this, my name is Christopher Alexander Overton. I'm a 31-year-old out and proud gay man. And living in a small town, moving to a small town, especially one like Orange, Virginia, I didn't have a lot of queer friends. In fact, I had none. All of my friends were straight, or at least if they were queer, I didn't know it. So I kind of just had to find a strength within myself to be confident in myself. So that's what I believe you have to do every single day, no matter who you are, no matter how you identify. You have to find that strength within yourself and be confident in who you are. And then everything else will kind of just fall into place.
How did you two get to know each other?
So that is actually a funny story. We started taking a adult musical theater class in the town of Orange. We became quick friends because we were always paired together, because my singing voice is naturally pretty high, whereas hers tends to be a little bit lower. So because of that, they would pair us together. And we just kind of became fast friends and kept in contact. And, you know, I love that woman with everything I have.
So Megan, tell us about the first time you thought about doing a painting of Wysteria.
Wow. You know, well, you know, we did meet in the dance class, and I liked him because he could remember the steps and I couldn't. I'd follow Christopher's steps. I can't remember. I think we had a lunch a couple of times, and she told me she was dressing up, and I thought that was great. And then I invited her to my studio, and that was I think the first painting I did, or drawings I did with her, were 2016. So we've been working together that long. And unfortunately, COVID interrupted it, because I couldn't have anyone in the studio, so that you can actually see the changes in the paintings in the exhibition, because it went from a highly rendered kind of, you know, perceptual painting in my studio with, you know, props and setting her up, to something much more imagined. I had to like piece her together in an interesting way. Sometimes, again, back to this idea of Venus, I had to, there were several paintings in that show that I actually took Roman statues of Venus and altered them and changed them to Wysteria Ivy, so she could basically kind of pose for me. But she would also send me photographs during this, you know, COVID and things like that. So I had a lot of reference material to work from, but they very much changed, you know. So yes, and I just loved having her here, and I would bring her in as often as I could.
That's great. With Wysteria, what did you think of this artist asking you if she could paint pictures of you? Had you been a model before?
You know, I had not. And, you know, it was funny because it was something that I believe I had only just started getting into drag a couple years before. And I really started getting into it as like a way to like practice makeup, because that's where like the love originally came from. Like, I love the transformative power of makeup. So I think it kind of came up as like this thing where like I did my own kind of art, and then she did hers, and then we kind of were like, let's get together and see what happens. And then that's when we met up, and she did the paintings, and she's just amazing.
Yeah, I, if you don't mind me adding to that, I do feel a lot like sometimes the work is very collaborative, because there's never a time, there's not one painting that I've ever done of Wysteria where I haven't asked her several times through the process if she likes it. And if she doesn't like it, you know, she's never not liked it, fortunately. But if she didn't like something, I wouldn't show it. I'd change it, because it is about it. A part of it is about her, you know, very much so.
What did you want the viewer to get out of these paintings, Megan?
I guess first and foremost, I would want, you know, there to be a sense of awe, in the way that, you know, I'm sure, you know, Wysteria and Grace want people to be, you know, in awe, you know, to have a vision. I mean, I think visions are important. I think, you know, even when I do my big heads and we're running around down the street, I may not perform in front of an audience in the same way an actor does, but I will, as a big head, give somebody a strange vision in the middle of their day on the street. And I think that is important, to have a sense of awe. I think the first thing, a sense of beauty, a sense of mystery. And then a puzzling, like something isn't, something is a little off here, but I like it, it's, and yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's what I
That
wanted.
makes sense. Wysteria, so what did you want people to see about you in Megan's paintings?
I honestly was hoping that when people see these paintings, they can be like, wow, if this like openly honest queer person from a small town in Virginia do this, then I can do anything and I can be whatever I want to be. I want to inspire the future to know that like nothing's impossible. You just have to be willing to work for it.
Megan, you write in your artist statement about like, you talk a lot about liminal spaces and liminal existences, and this this idea of existing in between two more concrete realms, or existing in between genders. And I think that like as a non-binary person and as a drag queen, that really excites me to hear people speak about that. How does that interest in liminality in your body of work before the Wysteria work like really like lead into this work that you're doing with Wysteria? And like, is that like enhancing and advancing that, or does it feel like it's the same conversation that you've been having?
Well, I feel like Wysteria definitely enhances it. I've been studying, because of my work with the big heads, which are big, for those who aren't familiar with my work, I make also, other than paint, I make large paper mache big head masks that are full masks that you put over your head. And because of that, I've been working with those since 2012. And because of that work, I got very interested in carnival. And carnival happens, it's happening March 1st this year. So it happens, it happens when the night force of winter begins to change and turn into the day force of spring. So it's a liminal time period. I'm very fascinated with the universe's clock, and how we are attuned to it, because for so many thousands of years, we've been an agrarian society. It's real important how the seasons change. We eat by how the seasons change, and we have for thousands of years. So when the seasons change in this manner, when the clock goes from a dark, dark time into a light time, that is, as it moves into spring, before it hits spring, it's carnival time, and it creates a void in the universe. And through that void in the universe, this kind of magic comes up where everything is beginning to like change, change their, it's almost like a shapeshifter's time. It happens also at Halloween when it does the opposite. It goes from light to dark. And again, we have a situation where we have a community that comes together. They all kind of enmesh in terms of their personas. They all begin to wear masks. They all begin to share in their community, in their togetherness. Like I said earlier with Michael, what do I believe in? I believe in how we're all similar, not how we're all different. And these two periods of time, Halloween and Carnival, are a time where we try on those different personas. And to me, it's a very magical time. And that moves over into, it went from that into Wysteria Ivy's work, because I feel like Wysteria enjoys going back and forth from being these two binaries. You know, she can speak for herself, but to me, she is an embodiment of this liminal time where things are fluxing and changing and moving, and it's not clear. The boundaries are not clear. It's an in-between world.
I mean, does that ring true for you at all, Wysteria? Is there something that you feel like powerful and like drawn to about what Megan's talking about, or is this just fun playing with makeup and being vain in a studio?
No, well, I mean, there's a little bit of that, I'm not gonna lie, but no, there is a power to it. And like Megan and I have talked about this before, where like something about getting into drag literally unleashes a part of your personality that you didn't even know was there. So when that happens, it's like you feel like you're invincible, like literally nothing could stop you. I could jump out of an airplane in drag and and even though I'm incredibly afraid of heights, in drag I feel like I could literally do anything.
Yeah, it's like really transformative, not just physically, but like emotionally.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. Like when Megan was talking about, I'm just hijacking the conversation, Michael, screw.
No, good.
Like when Megan, like when you were talking about like, you know, like Halloween and these masks and these liminal spaces, like, you know, in the seasons, it's like also it like spiritually, like I feel like there is a different essence in me. I was telling someone the other day that when I do drag, like I'm not Michael-Birch. That's not me. Like you've never seen Grace and Michael-Birch in the same room, but they are very different people. Like I've transformed into something else. And I think Grace's connection to masculinity or maleness or queerness or anything like that, it's not just that I'm a woman. I think what makes her special is that she's a woman with these other lived experiences that, you know, transforms back and forth like Jekyll and Hyde, you know?
Yeah. I think that's really important. You know, when I was in my mid-20s, I was Aunt Mildred with me and a white-haired wig, nurse's shoes. I was a little old lady in drag, and I babysitted for my friend's children as Aunt Mildred, and you know,
oh my God.
it is a transforming experience to do that. Hey Megan, I wonder if you've ever been in drag.
There was a time where I was, of course, tomboy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I would beat up the little boys in the neighborhood. I was really actually quite naughty.
Yeah.
I was bad. I was very bad. I was aggressive, and
it's good to be bad.
Yeah, I probably should have gotten a couple of spankings, please.
Naughty.
Let's get back to the show. Megan, I do want you to talk about the process of painting and how it connects to these ideas of transformation. It is a process, and you can see the process in some of your paintings. So I want you to talk about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that happens in painting is how can I put this? You know, years ago, I was listening to Anne Hamilton talk about great ideas. And she said that you can't really force a great idea to happen. You can only put yourself in a situation where great ideas can emerge. And I think that when you paint, you begin to kind of suspend yourself in the medium. And my favorite part of the painting is in the middle, not when it's started or right when it's finished. It's in the middle where there's medium in the paint, and you've suspended yourself through it. And we all do this. It sounds crazy, but we all suspend ourselves in mediums. You know, writers suspend themselves in words, and musicians suspend themselves in music, and alcoholics suspend themselves in alcohol. Electronic media right now, we're suspended in electronic media. And so we merge in and out of this medium, and decisions are made, and then they fade, and things emerge out of the paint, and they go back in, and you cover them up, and then they come out. And so it is this kind of, I would guess, and now that I think about it, an equivalent to this kind of liminal space that I was talking about with Carnival in this time of the year, where things are still kind of unformed, and there's an opportunity to try on different personas, and with that there's an opportunity for empathy, because you aren't a fully formed person, and so you have the opportunity to feel what other people feel, and to try on their shoes, I guess, and walk a mile in them, whatever, to use the bad cliche. But at any rate.
That's great. So Wysteria, a similar question for you, and Grace as well, I would say, is so what about that process of getting in drag, and just that, seeing yourself in the mirror as yourself, which equates to that blank canvas that Megan faces, and getting to that point of where you both are right now. So Wysteria, what is that process like for you of becoming Wysteria?
So there's always a point when doing the makeup, and it's basically like, the way I explain it is that almost like the extreme feminine version of myself starts to like emerge, and then that's when I start to feel the most like Wysteria, and then that's when like I finish and everything comes together, and then I look like this. It is literally like a power almost comes over you.
How about you, Grace?
Yeah, it's strange because a lot of times, like, I'll buy a new wig and I'll put it on like without all of the face on, and just be like, I wonder what this looks like. And I can't see it.
Right.
I put it on my normal everyday face and I'm hideous. But yeah, it's like, you can see, like, I never know what I'm going to look like until everything starts to come together. And I start it and really have no idea what I'm doing. As I start, I just kind of feel how I'm led to like put which color where and how to do the makeup. It's usually right about like when my lip goes on that I feel like now it's clicked. Like now this is exciting. Now this is something going on. But before that, I mean, the amount of layers of contour and different color and like all the different stages of getting here, I look completely deranged. Like, it is crazy. I was like, but that's cool. I love all the different stages of like seeing like how each step comes into what I'm gonna be at the end of it.
Basically, you're painting your face, and I'm painting a canvas.
Yeah,
exactly. And I've said for like, I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never done makeup in my life when I decided to start doing drag, and I was like, what? I've got 2 degrees in art. Like, I am a teacher of fashion illustration. Like, I tell people how to draw faces every day. Like, I could do this. I can figure it out. And so yeah, it's just figuring out how to paint, just with a different kind of paint.
Yeah, yeah. I think there is a similarity there. So
it's
Megan,
all
all spackle. Duct tape.
Exactly.
Pulling all the way back here.
Great. So Megan, so what's next for you?
Oh my gosh.
I got this idea of making little heads
Oh,
as opposed to big heads. This is actually a COVID corvid.
Oh, great.
So I got this idea that it will wear a black dress full of black rubber gloves.
Oh, I love that.
And the rubber gloves will be its feathers.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it's also it's also an environmental thing. It's kind of like a person trying to be an animal and failing miserably at it because they don't really get it, you know, like most of mankind. So instead of being anthropomorphic, it's zoomorphic, you know, it's kind of, yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking of. I'm thinking maybe I might put it on a big head that's a crow.
That's
You know,
great.
and then maybe some other, I don't know yet. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm working on, and some paintings on paper. And I have do you know those exhibition tents that you see at art fairs that are like square white things?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they have walls as well. I've been painting one of those. So I'm in the middle of that. I've got this idea that it will be like a little temple. Even the ceiling will be painted. You'll walk into it. I found a paint that sticks to vinyl. And so I don't know. That's what's
great.
next.
Sounds exciting. So I'm going to let you have the last word, Megan, but I do want to ask for any closing questions or thoughts from Grace and Wysteria. Have you seen the show, Wysteria?
I have not. I've seen the pictures on Instagram, and I keep thinking on one of my days off, I'm actually gonna like sneak in there and see what everything looks like, and I may still do that. Yeah, I'm so excited for like the closing show. I don't get out much. I don't really go anywhere besides like work and home. So like this is the most like social interaction I've gotten besides work in a while. So it's just nice. I'm very much looking forward to the show and seeing how everything is put together and how everything has come to, you know, fruition.
Great. Grace?
I guess all I have to add is that we're having a reception, a party, a little shindig, a little carnival at the gallery on February 18th from 7 to 9 p.m. Megan has committed you to coming, Wysteria. I don't know if that's on your calendar yet.
It is. It definitely is.
I love it. So I think what you can expect are maybe a drag performance or two by me and Wysteria. I think maybe we can expect to wear some big heads and march around the gallery and the property at Diversity. We can expect a lot of alcoholic beverages.
We can suspend ourselves in them.
I'm going to suspend myself in wine, as I do at every opening, and especially when I'm Grace. So yeah, it's going to be a really good part. And I mean, I guess that's all I have to add is that come see the show and come engage with the work. Don't touch it, but engage with it visually, and let us know what you guys think.
That's great. So Megan, you've got the last word. What would you like to leave your audience with?
I have a lot of gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude that I've been given this show, but also that I have an opportunity to interact with Richmond's community and Diversity's community. It's real important to me. People are important to me, and I just relish that opportunity to get to know your community better and be a part of it.
Thank you for bringing your community to us.
Yes.
Great.